What the fuck is up? Welcome to Fuck Yeah Polo podcast, FYPP, episode 5.
Awesome.
Today we have Em and Manu. Thank you for doing this with me.
For sure, thanks for inviting us.
Yeah, of course, anytime. So my first go-to is always, how did y'all get into polo?
I started about 4 years ago. I had a cycling friend invite me. I had just moved to Gainesville. I didn't really bike that much at all. I think I had a Walmart bike.
Yeah.
But she was cool. She was cute. She invited me. I said yes. We would play at the top floor of a parking garage, and at the time I was 20.
Yeah.
So everyone would buy me beers, and I thought that was really dope. So I just got to ride my bike and drink at 20, whereas otherwise I wouldn't get to do stuff like that.
Right.
That's how I got in.
Do you recall who that was, or?
Their name is Cole.
Oh, okay, right.
Their name is Cole.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
How about you?
Manu brought me in, I don't know, like maybe 2 years ago.
Nice.
Ish, and at first I just went and kind of observed because I wasn't that comfortable on a bike. I think I had like a beach cruiser at the time, and that's how I like rode around town. But then I kept going back, and I used to play other sports like my whole life, and so I was kind of interested in that aspect and started riding around and getting more comfortable, and yeah, just stayed. Yep.
Nice, that's right. So you've been playing 4-ish years, and then 2. And then, Manu, I've seen you like all over the world. I feel like, for real, like we just, like, I just see you everywhere. So,
yeah,
like,
West Coast, East Coast, South America.
Wherever, yeah, so it seems like you've been around. What, by far, has been like your favorite tournament?
I feel like it's unfair to say Tropiclassic because I'm here right now.
Yeah, we are in like paradise, for sure. True.
I think most of the time, like when I look back at my year, I usually appreciate the WTF tournaments the most.
Yeah.
There's many different reasons why that is. I've been to the one that was in Minneapolis, one in LA, and I'm missing one other one. But there's something about the vibe that's really different. The solidarity, the enjoyment. It feels like the competitiveness is less hostile sometimes.
Yeah.
That allows me to feel more comfortable. And for me, I appreciate and enjoy a tournament a lot more when I'm comfortable.
Yeah.
Like I can handle so much more if I'm comfortable and not anxious. So usually, yeah, I look forward to Dames and Crown Classic the most.
Right.
No matter where that is. I want them to be in the South. That's my goal for 2020. To get one of the two of them to be in the South.
That'd be right. Yeah. What about you, Em?
I've only been to 2 tournaments so far.
Ooh, then I think maybe we know.
So yeah, definitely. I didn't play this year in Puerto Rico, but I went last year and I played, and that was like my first. I feel like I was with Gabe and Manu, and so I felt like it definitely helped me step up my game a bit.
Nice.
And yeah, I look forward to doing more tournaments for sure.
Nice. That's right.
Yeah.
Cool. And then, so y'all are from Gainesville, right? So Gainesville Bike Polo.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit? Yeah, there you go. I have one of those.
Yeah, we've both only ever played for Gainesville Bike Polo.
Yeah.
Our club is, the way I see it, pretty unique. Go ahead.
Okay. Oh no, yeah. So yeah, just give us like kind of like what your club's about, and then kind of a status, where y'all at.
Yeah, our status when I started 4 years ago, it felt like a party club.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of drinking, like people like in their 20s and 30s, pretty mixed between men and WTF. It was pretty diverse at the time, but definitely more aggressive play, I think, because we were drinking a lot.
Right.
And it was like late night polo in downtown Gainesville. And we ended up getting kicked out of there because the cops were coming every time. Yeah. So eventually had to stop playing there, and because we started playing at a park in southeast Gainesville that was really chill, I think people just stopped coming because it wasn't right by where they were already hanging out and drinking, I guess.
Yeah.
So our club diminished in size. A lot of the older, like, people that were known in Gainesville stopped coming. And it kind of became like Manu and Em's generation, which became a lot of WTF players.
Nice.
So it's pretty dope.
Yeah. I think we're definitely majority WTF, and
Really? Wow.
yeah, it's
That's
really
super
awesome.
rad, yeah.
And I think that's why, you know, a lot of people come and hang and stay because they feel really comfortable in that environment.
Yeah, for sure.
We started something kind of called like Queers on Wheels. It's like super unofficial because we've noticed every time we go, we're all queer, and other people who play sports on wheels like roller derby will like come out and they'll kind of try out bike polo too, and people like skate around while we play.
That's right.
So it's really fun.
Yeah, I think I would say about, like, right now we don't have more than 10 people in our club.
Yeah.
Really, so we want to get back to some recruiting.
Polo
pick it back
cues.
up.
Mm-hmm.
You ever done those? Or?
Polo cues.
Yeah.
What's that?
It's just a barbecue where it's
Oh,
it's
okay.
like you get to watch polo and you have free food.
I mean, we
That's,
put fire.
that's what I did a lot. That was like I did that in Salt Lake. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, our court is being repaved right now. I hope that
Really?
doesn't mean we're getting kicked out. I hope that means we're coming back to a better court.
That'd be pretty rad though.
But we can have an opening
awesome.
party or something.
Yeah, that'd be dope. Yeah.
We've had fires on the court before, so
Bonfires.
What?
really bonfires on the
The
court.
bonfires are the best. When we finally convinced Mike to bring his fire pit.
Oh,
Shout out
that's
to
real.
Mike bringing out the fire.
For real though, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that's I never knew that it's mostly WTF.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty dope. So maybe you'd like to share maybe your experience as a WTF player. 'Cause I mean, I know you've been to a ton of tournaments and a lot of competitive ones. So yeah, I'd love to hear about it. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
I don't know, it's really complex. I think for me the most interesting thing is observing men and observing how they view us. I kind of get a tickle out of it because a lot of the players are really supportive, really cool, kind of intensely supportive, and sometimes it's just peculiar. And then other times some of them are kind of resentful, some of them get really awkward about how to be socially correct, the way they view that. And I think for me, like, I haven't necessarily had any super bad experiences.
Yeah.
But I just suggest that people start talking to their friends and start understanding why it's important for us to have safer spaces. I think at this point some men are starting to feel excluded, which they think that we're gaining something and they're losing something.
Right.
But at the end, like, we're all gaining because we're able to get better,
Yeah.
we're able to feel more comfortable, we're able to come to North American championships and play with everyone else, and everyone is getting better together. We just need somewhere more comfortable to be able to, like, let that happen. Like, for example, Em said that they've played sports their whole life. Like, I never really felt comfortable doing that. Had people telling me, like, I sucked or whatever, it wasn't easy for me to, like, form as a sports person when I was younger.
Gotcha.
But now I have a space where I'm able to, like, be comfortable and have a safe space apart with my friends if I need it, and come back to, like, the regular atmosphere. But yeah, I don't know. Have you had any moments you can think of?
I haven't had any bad experiences. What I do appreciate, just as being like a non-binary person, is like coming to a space that's not so binary all the time.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things I appreciate about polo that I couldn't find within other sports.
Right. For sure.
So yeah.
That's cool. And then I guess, I mean, you've been, so I'll say within like the last few years, are you seeing a trend? Is it getting better? Is it, is it, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. I really don't know.
Oh, okay.
I really don't know because I've been to a lot of different places. Like I said, I've been to the West Coast, Northeast Coast, the whole South. And then I've been to South America, Colombia, Chile, and Peru.
Right.
And it feels like every single city is somewhere totally different.
Yeah.
Every single club is on a different level.
Yep. For sure.
Every tournament you go to has a very different vibe.
Yeah.
So for example, Tropi Classic I can say is a great tournament for WTF players. Because it doesn't feel like the groups were formed, oh, we need to have at least one WTF player. It doesn't have that vibe. Because there was one full WTF team, there was a lot of teams that had half and half, or like a good amount of mixture. There's some tournaments where it feels like every team that was formed has a WTF player because they had to. Yeah. That vibe is still there. And that's one vibe I hope changes. There's still some like, sometimes you'll be like having fun or on the sidelines and you'll see a group of people and they'll say things that aren't really safe for the space. Like I'm still observing that and that hasn't changed. I think one thing that has changed is that WTF players are getting a lot better, so they're more likely to get into those like better teams, and we're kind of forcing our way in. I think like
as you should.
Yeah, I think a lot of the players who happen to be men, there's some that on an individual level are growing a lot. So as individuals, some are making really great strides, changing things in their personal life and their own identities to be better at understanding us. A lot of folks are even realizing that their own identities aren't what they thought they were. So it's pretty dope. Like queering up polo and stuff, that can change, but I think we need to do a lot better.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna pause for a second just to double check
that it's been running this whole time.
They have done that so many times. All right, we're good.
Okay.
We got 12 minutes. Because it also stops at 30. So.
Oh, okay.
All right. All right, back to it. All right, how about so that's pretty cool. I mean, I feel like we've been, at least in our club, we've been really fortunate with some really rad WTF players who have, kind of led the way for our club. And I don't think we're definitely over, but I think we're about half of W2 players. I feel like that way. I might be wrong though. So
I think you're right.
Don't quote me on that.
Your club deserves some real credit.
We have quite a bit though, and it's been pretty dope.
Yeah.
So how about you tell me, what is it about bike polo that makes you travel all over the world? Or, why do you love it so much?
Yeah, why do I spend all my money?
Exactly, yeah.
I don't know. For me, one of the big things is being able to do awesome things on a bicycle. Yeah. For as long as I can remember, have thought like extreme sports were the coolest thing ever. Like people that did BMX, people that skated. I thought that was the coolest thing, and I never pictured that I would be able to hop on a bicycle, do wheelies, like bring my body all the way down. That to me is really cool, being able to see personal development.
Yeah.
And then socially, or like as a collective, I don't know, we're all really geeky and it's really fun. Like, you're gonna go to a tournament, and if you have a good attitude, like you're gonna have a really fun time. People are gonna take you places that you otherwise wouldn't see if you were just a regular tourist.
Yeah.
People help you with housing. Like, I was able to stay in this house I'm in right now for a single night without a single worry.
Yeah.
And I guess the camaraderie is just really beautiful. Like, I went to Lima, Peru for 3 days and had somewhere to stay. I mean, we're really lucky. We're really lucky.
For sure. It's a rad community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Em?
You got ripped as fuck too.
I'm ripped now. Check it out.
It's inspired me. I'm like, damn, I want to do cool things on a bike now.
Sick.
For sure. I want to travel more. I think it's the same as like learning how to do more on a bike.
Yeah.
It's like hard because I'm not there yet, so sometimes it's easy to get like disencouraged, but seeing other players develop those skills like in our club is really cool, and to develop with like our club members is really fun. So
Yeah.
I think going back, we're all feeling pretty inspired, like me and Ash and Olivia and people in our club are like, oh, we want to go and practice. We're going to bring out some cones
Nice.
and like
Red.
start running some drills and stuff.
Yeah, I think growing together is something we can work on.
Yeah.
Nice. That's red. That's a pretty. I like that. It's good. All right. So how about we can let's talk about like maybe some tips. Maybe some either if it's just for a bike polo player or for a club or for a WTF player, or, you know, whatever sort of advice you'd like to share. Yes.
I think for new players, the most important thing is not getting in your head. I think it's really easy feeling discouraged by like how great other people are or whatever it may be, but straight up just have fun, like enjoy it as a sport where you're just chilling and hanging out with your friends. You're gonna fall, you're gonna get hurt. As long as you're okay with that, everything else will be okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Everything will be fine. Sometimes it's hard, anxiety happens, do what you need to do, step away from the court, but come back and just enjoy yourself, have fun, and you can do that for a decade in this sport.
True that.
It's like a lot of it is just in your head. It can be hard, but like you got this. When it comes to a club, I think like just actually be friends with the people in your club.
Yeah.
Don't
Facts.
let animosity and hostility happen. It happens, but like be able to move forward and be friends with the people you're around, form friendships, and that'll allow you to keep having fun.
Do things outside of polo with your club. Sing some karaoke.
Yeah.
Cook some meals. Yeah. Get some protective gear because I've been falling a lot and I don't have anything.
Dude, that's I think I'm hopping on that bandwagon this year.
Yeah?
Yeah,
At least with
good
knee
for
pads,
you.
just cause like I'm
pads.
old, dude.
Yeah.
I'm getting old. I'm like, I want my knees to last for a while.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think having gear to lend out is so essential.
Oh yeah. For sure.
Like I think we've been saying, oh, we have loaner bikes, come out, and then a new person will come out and we haven't brought our bikes that day.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
so just
Happens.
make it easy for people.
Yeah,
to
make
keep
it
playing.
super easy. Yeah. For sure. All right. Well, thank you all for coming on
Thank
the
you.
podcast, and it's been a pleasure being your friend. And
Thank you.
yeah, also as well, I'm stoked to have met you, and yeah, thanks.
Yeah, thank
Group
you.
hugs.
Aw.
All right.
Awesome.